Hi everyone, and welcome to Biology 101. I'm Dr. Hinke. I'll be your instructor for this term online, and what I'd like to do is just sort of walk you through our D2L classroom, go over the syllabus, just kind of get us oriented to what to expect for the next 7 weeks, and let you dive in tomorrow. Let's see, let me share my screen with you. Share. There we go. All right, so what you should be seeing now is our D2L classroom. Every time you enter, what you want to do is make sure that you click on this title of our course so you come to our announcements page. Here's where I'll post important information, updates. Every week I'll post a kind of summary and recap of the week before and a list of assignments for the week ahead. Right now I have some introductory messages posted there. If you have not looked at those, you'll want to do that. There's one on the lab manual. You can purchase the lab manual directly through TopHat. This is an electronic version of the manual that we typically use in lab. You will need that. There are assignments from it. So you can jump right in here. And if you purchase it through TopHat, the cost is $58.50. You can purchase an access code at the bookstore, but there is a markup. It's only supposed to be a couple dollars, but I've heard they've got it listed at, I think, $78. So I need to check on that. It should not be that much, but the best bet is to go right to TopHat with that. So there's directions, information on how to access your electronic lab manual. Get into that a little bit more in a bit. I posted a welcome message that's pretty lengthy but has a lot of important information. Right here we've got my name, Dr. Hinke, my email, my office hours. Office hours, these are really help or tutoring times. So this is my come and give me a call. Either we can WebEx, conference call, Skype, Zoom, or just text on the phone, email, however you need help. These are the hours I will definitely be available. So Mondays 2 to 4 in the afternoon, Tuesdays 9:30 to 11:30, Thursday 1 to 3, and Friday 10 to 12, or other days and times by appointment. I tried to sort of mix up what times of day I'd be available, hoping to catch as many people as possible with some free time in here. The syllabus is attached below as well as a schedule. We'll take a look at those in just a minute. This is an important note here. We do have to post non-attendance for any students who have not made it to class in the first week. Online, that means you need to check into the D2L classroom. You have to do more than just stop in and look around. You actually have to post something. So it could be your introduction in the intro discussion. It could be your answers to week 1. You have to complete an assignment, a quiz, an activity, something to be considered in attendance. If you do not do this by the 31st, you'll be dropped from the roll. So make sure you do participate in something in the classroom. Our textbook is online. Access to it was included in your tuition. You did have the option to opt out of that for a slight reduction. If you opt out, you still will need a textbook, and you will need access to the McGraw-Hill website to complete some assignments, particularly lab assignments. If you have a used or other textbook, it's not important, but for the lab portion, you definitely need access. If you purchase it on your own, it's going to cost you more than if you just go with the included option. So you do have that option to opt out, but you probably want to just go ahead and get it. It's included. Lab manual, I sent you all, if you are enrolled as of today, Sunday, the 23rd, for our class that begins tomorrow. You should have already received an invitation to our lab manual, and that is available through TopHat. It is the same manual that we use in face-to-face labs. So if you had a previous one of that, we do have the same assignments, but you'll have to complete assignments online and submit them. They'll be graded online, so you do need that lab access, that lab manual access. Because we are online, I know that might not be your first choice for many of you, but it's what we have these days. So going in, you just know up front, it's online. And we will be using Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor for exams and for lab practicals. What that is, it's a tool that lets you take basically a proctored exam. So your exam's just like being in the classroom, except you are proctored via video. So you need a webcam. Lockdown Browser makes sure you can't go surf the internet, check your email, look for, Google the question to get the answer. It prevents you from accessing any other browsers. And of course, we know you could have your textbook next to you or your phone or another device. And so the lockdown browser would be useless. But we also have Respondus Monitor, which uses your webcam or an available webcam and videos you throughout the exam period. So from the time you start to the time you stop, you're on video. If your face leaves the camera frame, it gives a warning. If more than one person are present in the room, somebody walks in behind you, it notifies me. So I get notifications when there's any indication that you are not taking them alone. If your eyes are off the screen, like you're looking at a textbook or something, it also sends me an alert. So I can go back and watch that video to make sure that you took the exam like a real exam. So you do need a webcam. If that's going to be a problem, please let me know. You'll have to make other arrangements to be monitored, proctored during the exam, and that can either be arrangements, scheduling an appointment at the testing center, go in and take that, or making other arrangements with me. Let me know as soon as possible. If you tell me after the exam period that you couldn't do it, that's going to be a problem. So you want to know beforehand. Here's a whole bunch of information on the class here, things you should do, blah, blah, blah. Read the syllabus, read the material. We're going to go over all that right now. But do kind of read through this to get an idea. Here are some other tools that you might want to be familiar with. So for D2L, for anyone who is not familiar, hasn't been in here, this is our classroom. This is our home page where there'll be course announcements posted each week. And these are the different rooms of our classroom. Here we have some tools for you to get in touch with me. Email, direct message when I'm online. I'll get a little alert. The big area that you're going to be most interested, I've tried to link everything right into here so that you won't have to run around through all these other drop-down menus, is the content. And when you click on our content, you will see over here along the left side a whole list. This is basically our course from top to bottom. And what you'll want to do is start with the syllabus. And here we have some links to the syllabus, but also to McGraw-Hill Connect, our online resources for both lab and lecture, the Top Hat lab manual that you will need for lab, the opt-out information. Smartthink is a tool that we have available. You can link right on here. It's tutoring that's available. We also have tutoring sessions within the department. You can contact me for tutoring. I'll be sharing everyone's tutoring hours, but if my time frames don't fit, or you have another instructor who you know has been helpful in the past that you would prefer to work with, you can schedule tutoring times with them. But Smartthink is also available all the time through this app. So you want to start in the syllabus and read this information. We'll go through some more of that in a minute, but let's see. This link here will take you to the Trident Tech. This is the department-wide syllabus, describes the course, talks about our course objectives. It's kind of a broad view of what you'll learn. Our general education core competencies that everyone taking this class has to demonstrate. That's how we pass. Talks about our textbook and lab materials. Our evaluation, what you'll be graded on. And so in lab, our assignments are a percentage of your overall grade. Every lab you have a pre and a post lab assignment. Lab participation, this includes submitting any other required assignments, going to the website and see if you accessed the website and worked your way through all of the pages. So accessing those. Lab quizzes, your 2 lowest grades will be dropped. Most of these are short answers. And then 2 lab practicals, a midterm and a final, that are worth 20% of your grade. The lab practical, typically it's you have a physical something to manipulate, test results to look at, identify something under a microscope. So we've tried to make it as close to a real practical as possible, but it will be primarily with pictures and images. And they're all related to labs you've completed, so you'll have seen everything on that before. And we'll talk more about that when we get closer to it. For lecture, our lecture portion, there are chapter assignments in McGraw-Hill Connect, very short assignments for each chapter. Lecture participation. This participation we are going to run asynchronously. That means you are not required to log in at any specific time. You just have to complete the work by each week's deadline. So all of the assignments have a deadline. Typically it's Sunday of each week or Monday of each week after we have our Monday holiday. It's indicated in this schedule. So you have a week. You have to manage your time to make sure you complete all of the activities within that week. We'll look at that schedule in a minute. We have online discussions in D2L, just some short questions you'll be asked to answer. Most are just thought and reflection questions and 1 or 2 content questions. We have 4 lecture exams. They come fast and furious. The first one's at the end of week 1. In 7 weeks, 4 one-hour exams, they come pretty quick. And then we have a cumulative department final exam that everyone will take. There's no extra credit. You do the work that you do. You get graded on the work you do. Dropping low quiz grades, that's our bonus, or that's our extra credit, is that if you have an off day, your low grade gets dropped. There might be some bonus questions on quizzes or exams that everybody gets. So please don't ask for extra credit. You're not getting it. Extra is over and above. If you have 100, you can get extra. If you don't have 100, you're not there yet, so no extra. Here's our grading scale. If you are at 90.4, no, I will not bump you up. This is technically an A is 91 to 100, so this already accounts for rounding up. So no, if there's a certain grade you need to earn for whatever your academic or career goals are, this is what you're shooting for. And remember, you earn your grade. I don't give anybody a grade. You earn your grade. So keep that in mind when you're planning your work. There's some more information. Trident Technical College policies, the plagiarism and honor code. Honor code, don't cheat, don't copy, don't share your work with anybody. This includes transcribing, printing, photocopying, photographing, and using a print screen tool. So print screen to share quiz or test questions with classmates, that is cheating. Please don't do that. Makeup policy. If you, for some reason, know you are going to miss an assignment or be late or something comes up, let me know as soon as possible so that we can make arrangements for you to complete any missing assignments. Here are some more institutional policies. You should read these over. Know those. And this is just a generic schedule. So we're going to flip off this generic schedule and go to our class's specific schedule. So also under the syllabus tab, we have schedule and syllabus addendum. This was also posted as an attachment on that first announcement. This you'll want to print, keep handy, know it, keep it with you. This has Every assignment, lecture, lab, the due dates. So remember I said everything's sort of due within the week that it's assigned. All of our week 1 assignments, unless otherwise indicated, are due Sunday at midnight. Same thing in week 2. We're going to have a shift when we get to week 3 because that Monday is a holiday. So starting in week 3, our weeks will run from Tuesday till the following Monday. So in weeks 3 through 7, your assignments are all due Monday at midnight unless otherwise indicated. So if you use this as a checklist, print this out, use it as a checklist. I've broken things down. These are not deadlines. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have a lot of work to cover each week. You would be in lecture for 6 hours and in lab for 6 hours each week if we were face-to-face. So you'd be present in class for 12 hours and then have homework to do on top of that. A 4-credit-hour course is about the equivalent of a half-time job, 20 hours a week, right? 4 credits is half-time in our 7-week terms, where 8 credits, greater than 8 credits, makes you full-time. So plan your week. Plan it well, because this should take the same amount of time and usually a little more. I know it takes a lot more for me teaching online, so expect it to take some more. This gives you your reading assignment, watch the videos, and complete assignment 1. I've just broken it down day to day to keep you on track. This will let you tackle a week's worth of work in bite-sized pieces, just a little bit at a time. All right, same thing with the lab. These are not absolute dates, but it will make your life a whole lot easier if you tackle a little bit every day instead of 10 hours on Saturday, 10 hours on Sunday, trying to get everything done. It also kind of syncs up here where, do chapter 1, do lab exercise 1. They're similar on similar topics. Chapters 45 through 47, similar, or 44, 45, 47, ecology. There we go. So you can progress through, go back and forth, do some lecture, do the corresponding lab. Do some more of the lecture reading, do some of the corresponding lab. So, as I said, these are not absolutes. These dates are suggested to help you tackle the work and progress through each week and make sure you get all your assignments done. So use this as a checklist. I don't know why I get little euro signs here when I open it in the window, but if you download it, you'll see those are little check boxes. So I said exam 1 comes pretty quickly. Covers chapters 1, 44, 45, and 47. These are ecology and environmental chapters. So we're going to start with a big overview of biology in chapter 1, and we're going to go to the macro level, population biology, ecology, community ecology. So looking at macro level first to get a big picture. So these are pretty interesting, relatable chapters that are easy to understand. So it's a lot in the first week. But it's really not all that difficult. And then we have our first exam. Then we're going to go back down to the micro level, and we're going to start with the chemistry chapters. We're going to start with atoms and molecules, and we're going to build back up to this macro level through the progression of the course. So I'd highly recommend printing this and using it as a checklist. You'll see after our first exam on next week, we get a little breather, and your next exam is the middle of week 3. And then in week 5, 6, and then the final in week 7. Your exams, you'll have 60 minutes to complete them. There are 50 multiple choice questions and 3 short answer questions. You have a 3-day window, so everyone should be able to find 1 hour sometime in this 3-day period when they can take the exam. You can't take it over 3 entire days, though. Once you start, you have 60 minutes, and if you're not done, it shuts down anyway. So you do only have 60 minutes. It is a timed test that will prevent you from looking up answers. If you try to look up the answers to all these questions before you answer, you'll run out of time. You will also trigger the alert on the Respondus Monitor, but there is a time limit, so beware of that when you're taking the test. So this schedule is going to be our important one. Again, if you, for whatever reason, do not have a web camera, can't use Respondus Monitor, notify me so we can make arrangements before the exam dates. Late assignments, if you have not made arrangements with me prior to the due date and you submit things late, you'll lose 10% of your score per day. So if it's worth 100 points, each day late, you drop 10%. So if it's 1 day late, if it's 1 hour late, you're starting with a 90. So get things in on time. Contact information for me. I do have my cell phone number on here, but no, I'm not going to answer calls from unknown numbers. So text me first, and then I'll return your call. Let's see, we go back into syllabus. Play around in D2L. The first week it's sometimes crazy trying to figure out where things are. I've tried to put everything just right here in content so you can go down the list, but look around. Figure out where everything is located. The other thing that's in our syllabus is some pre-class reading material. We've got the Trident Tech Honor Code. Do read that. I've got a brief overview of online learning. This is really intended for students who chose online learning. You had no choice, so I've tried to sort of tweak it a little bit for that, of just to give you some help, help you to understand what it entails, what the best approaches are, how to be successful in online, even if online was not your first choice. So there are some strategies for success online, things that I'm looking for. Here's the big one. A successful online student must exercise more self-discipline than a face-to-face student. So sort of know you want to be checking in. You want to be in the classroom. The more time you spend on our D2L page, watching the videos, reading the material, interacting with your classmates is huge. It's going to be important. So I recommend, especially if it's your first online class or if you've struggled with online classes in the past, that you read this over. It's very helpful. So some stuff that I learned about online learning when I was actually getting certified as an online instructor for University of Maryland. And they've really done a lot of research into what are the best practices and how do we help our students to succeed. So that's an important read for everyone in there. Because your participation grade is based on your discussion participation, here's some information on how to earn the most points. And really the important thing, a lot of students think, oh, that online discussion, it's just extra work for me. But you can really consider that in science. Science is very collaborative. You work with your peers review your work. Everybody can be cantankerous and grouchy because when you're reviewing someone's work, what you're looking for are flaws and errors, and you want to point those out. Not to be mean, but to help people, to help your colleagues, to help them put out the best product they can. So by pointing out errors, sometimes it can feel awkward or seem horrible, but what it's doing is helping everyone to come to a better answer. So your discussions, I'm not worried about right or wrong answers at the beginning of the week. I'm worried about how you interact with one another to improve all of your learning through the week. So this talks a little bit about how you benefit from that interaction. How I benefit, I get to see a lot of times your discussions with one another help me to get a better idea of where I need to jump in and cover a topic a little bit more or a little more clearly. So they help me as well. So that's some information to help you with that. And then as we go through, There's some resources for free Wi-Fi, Microsoft Office. So look through all these links. The Student Lounge, this is an area that I've created. Oh, look, I don't have my discussions in there. The Student Lounge is an area that I've created for, for you and your classmates to talk. I am not going to monitor this. If you need help, if you want to point something out to somebody, if you want to, I don't know, make plans to conference call with someone, this is where you can do that. I'm not going to monitor it. If you want to get in there and say, oh, Dr. Hinkey's such a, you want to vent a little bit, I promise I could. I mean, I could go in there, but I'm not going to. That's for you. Ask the professor, though. This is where you can ask me questions that are either off topic or something's not clear. You can jump in here. I will monitor at the Ask the Professor discussion. I will not be looking at whatever you post in the Student Lounge. The rest of the content is broken down into lecture in units by exam. So exam 1 is all under unit 1. Exam 2 is under unit 2, 3, 4. And then unit 5, we have these last 3 chapters on evolution and speciation that are on the final exam, but there's not a separate in-class exam for them. The lab is basically broken into 2 parts. Lab part 1 is everything that will be covered on lab practical number 1. And lab part 2 is everything that will be covered on lab practical 2. So you will have to go between lecture and lab each week through these tags. But lecture unit 1, so in week 1, what you'll want to do is open this up, come in here, say, oh, here are the discussion questions. Oh, I'm going to introduce myself. Many of you have already jumped on here and introduced yourself. So there's one discussion, and then there's another discussion that has some questions on what you read and do this week, and then some other general questions. Also in week 1, we've got links to the learning material, to lecture notes, to the textbook, and a link to the assignment for chapter 1. And then chapter 44, same thing. And a lecture quiz. So you don't even have to come up here and go to quizzes to find the quizzes. All of these will be loaded right in your content. So links to the discussions, to quizzes, to assignments. You could get them all here, but I'm trying to make sure they're all loaded right into your content so you don't have to jump around too much. Just follow that checklist of assignments. So everything for week 1, everything up to exam 1 is in there. And then when you want to do lab 1, you come to lab part 1. There's a link to some Top Hat information on using your Top Hat lab manual, how to get the most out of it. It's quick, but you'll want to go through that. And then links for labs 1 and 2. If you look here, I have lots of videos, lots of short videos. So these are not me lecturing. These are just nice short videos that will help you out with the lab material. The lecture content, under the learning materials, when you click on that, you have a link to the objectives. Your learning objectives, that's your study guide for chapter 1. This is what you should know by the end of chapter 1. PowerPoint presentation to the chapter, and links to videos, short videos. And then there's usually a review document in every chapter. So you'll want to go in here, click on your learning materials for the chapter, and open up some videos and the reading materials, the assignments. So everything that you need is in there. Just click around. Make sure you can find your way around. We want to continue this meeting. So look around. Make sure you look around in there. You also have a link to a page for our lab. I've reiterated the welcome message here. I've copied it in here. I've copied the videos in here, but other than the videos, you won't find anything else in here because as our announcement on the front tells you, everything's going to be done through the lecture page. So that's really going to be where you're going to go and look for all your material is here in our lecture classroom. So I'm very excited. I know this is a lot of work and can be a little intimidating when you look at this classroom to begin with. But it's a fun class, it's an interesting class, and the discussions really let you all get to know each other. They let me get to know you so that we can make it a little more personal, because this class shouldn't be you and your computer. It shouldn't be just you sending things to me. You should be a learning community. You should all get to know and support each other because we're all going through this together, and that support helps a lot. So I look forward to seeing you all in our classroom and getting to know you. If you have questions, email, send me a chat, text me, call. I am here for you. Those office hours, those are help hours. I am here to help and answer questions. I will have live review scheduled time prior to each exam. Otherwise, I will just post pre-recorded videos of lectures for you, and it's all the material you need. So I'm here to help. Please let me know when you need some help, and I will see you all in the classroom starting tomorrow.